Hey guys, I'm Tim.
I'm Bob.
I'm Spencer.
And I'm Dan.
This is the Board Game Rundown. Today we're gonna preview or initial thoughts. Return to the Dark Tower
Dun, dun, dun.
by Restoration Games. This plays 1 to 4 players, right, Spencer?
Yes, 1 to 4.
1, 2, 4 players. We played a learning game. Spencer knew the rules. It's very easy to learn. I feel
It's
like
pretty straightforward.
not to
Super
take away from Spencer's teaching. But I mean, the teach went very quickly, and we played in just under 2 hours, like literally 1 minute.
Yeah, with
under 2
everyone
hours.
learning basically. Spencer had played once before.
And it's kind of interesting because there's a stats at the end of the game, and it told us that basically the average turn time was like 4.5 minutes. Not terrible.
Yeah.
A lot going on. We played straight co-op.
Yep.
We did not win.
No.
But we
got close.
got close. We got really close. We had the end boss running around. You know, he just kind of came down and just started doing stuff. And we had technically lost the game. So I was like, I'm just going to go in and try to fight this guy and see what happens. Horrible idea.
Yeah. Didn't work out.
But good to know. Anyways, so this is Spencer's neoprene mat. The board that comes in just the regular game is a little bit smaller, probably, cut off a couple inches.
Yeah.
Maybe 2 inches.
Yeah, 2 inches on each side, which actually is a significant amount.
Yeah,
I
shrink
wanted
it
the
down.
big
Overall.
neoprene
Yeah, but-
mat,
Does a circle have no sides or infinite sides?
infinite sides. So I
One
wanted
side.
the neoprene mat because I went ahead and got the minis, which are larger than the little tokens.
Got it. So you were worried about clutter.
Yeah, exactly. I was worried about clutter.
Yeah. So this massive tower, which is really the draw of the game, right? It's really interesting because your app, your turn, you track everything on an app, and then it recognizes when you're done with your turn, because every player, when you're done with your turn, you drop a skull in. Oh, and it popped out here, so I would have to assign it to a building in that region, right? But it may
It's because
keep
we have all the
coming
sides
out.
taken off.
No, I got
and stuff.
one in there. Oh, hey, it's stuck somewhere. But in this tower, there's different areas. There's these different things that can move.
Yep.
As you pull a seal off, there it was. Different things could happen. It could reveal a gap, or it could reveal a seal, then which makes it more
rune,
expensive
yeah.
to do one of your actions.
right.
Yeah, a rune. These are the
gonna-
seals as you remove the seals.
So you can see right here, there is a seal showing, and this seal is represented.
That's the cleanse.
This is the cleanse action that you can kind of see on the character sheets, and that means that it is now more expensive or harder to take the cleanse action for whoever's region that is facing. So if it was like this, then whoever is the Lord of the West, or whatever you want to call it, they are now more expensive while that's there, and the tower will rotate and change things as the game goes
Like
on.
this.
Oh, well, they can't really see that, but maybe they can over there.
Do it again. Oh,
Oh, here.
yeah,
I'll
do it
just-
one more time.
All right. Oh, it has to let me do it. There we go.
Yeah, there you go.
Damn.
And so it will do that when events pop up, and sometimes it just
Randomly
seems like
between
randomly.
players' turns,
yeah.
Yep.
And so you never know what this evil dark tower is
Yeah.
gonna throw at you
So you
next.
drop a skull, and then all of a sudden, skulls just come falling out.
Oh
yeah.
my gosh. And you hear them click. And
Yeah.
it's I think that was on my side.
Yeah.
I feel like there's a ton of
I
skulls
know.
behind this gate.
built up right over here. So in this game, basically, everybody's a different hero. When we played with 4 players, we started, basically at the points of the compass rose, right? North, south, east, west. And so that was our starting kingdom. And we're running around. The app is going to tell you different quests that you're going to add. They could be just go here and spend 3 warrior, or not 3 warriors, but 15 warriors and get a thing. Or it might be go here to go into the dungeon. The dungeon is going to rely on stealth or, this and that. And I got so we saw a dungeon. We've recruited. You got a companion. That was
I
pretty
did
cool.
get a companion towards the end.
And then the companion also. The neat thing about that was that she added extra events,
Yeah.
but they were
Yeah.
beneficial.
Yeah.
Yes, they are, and they're specifically related to her. If you read the other side, actually, she says that she adds an event about Mira moves foes around the board. it gives you a hint
Yeah.
about if you
What
get
she
her.
will do.
There's also something about if she's the main companion, which I haven't encountered that
No,
mechanic.
So the main companion was Zeta. It's the one that you pick at the beginning of the game.
Oh, that's right. You pick one, and
yeah.
then so that unlocks extra. Like this one does side quest kind of thing that you can do, and then she also unlocked 2 abilities for me when she was my companion, which were both incredible. I mean, you guys won't fully understand what that means, but that's fine.
The player mat is fantastic
Yep.
because it basically
Oh,
is going to
nice.
tell you every single thing you're going to do and what you can do. You've got a banner action, which everybody's asymmetric, and you can do it at the start of your turn. Then you've got, and you can choose then to move. You can do a heroic action, and you can do a reinforce action, and you can break up your move in between doing those actions, and you don't have to do the hero action, then the reinforce action.
Right.
Yeah, it says in any order.
It says in any order next to the middle of turn, and next to move, it says you can split your movement as needed. So
Right.
that's
Yeah.
also very kind.
Super helpful.
Super helpful. You have these virtues over here that you can unlock, which will flip and give your character more powerful abilities.
Yep.
There's also, unfortunately, corruptions, which is how we lost the game. You can have a
Technically.
maximum of 2. So when you've got to take one that exceeds that, then game over, man.
I think the only thing that would have made this player map better is dual layer.
Dual layer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'd be the only thing. It doesn't even really need
Right.
it. Maybe these do kind of shift around and whatnot. But
Yeah.
there's so much good information on here, and like
I 100%
and
knew
laid
you were
out
going to
really
say that.
nice.
I'm just also going to point out just a counter argument that it is completely unnecessary. So like maybe
Yep,
like a
everything
stretch goal
needs
that you
dual
got
layer.
automatically. Oh, that's nice. But like as a this up to the price of the game kind of thing.
oh no,
not
yeah, I
worth
wouldn't
it.
want to pay more, but
Right.
Yeah, and
right.
I like
mean,
dual layers.
This is your player aid,
Right?
and
Yeah.
it's
Oh yeah.
your board.
Yeah, your
I
player
mean,
aid is your board. That's a really good point.
It does it in such a clean, streamlined way of explaining what everything does so simply. It is fantastic.
Got your starting resources listed on there and everything.
And,
Yeah.
and the book itself has a reference on the back of the book, so all the symbols and everything are explained, and the rules are easily forgotten or explained, and all stuff like that.
Hey,
But
where's that rule book at?
Is it in there?
I didn't see it.
But again,
It's a
like,
good size though. I'll go ahead and say that
it's the size Bob likes.
it is.
One thing that really impressed me is the simplicity of learning.
Yep.
Right? Like it was very easy to learn. So you're not like, oh, I was doing this wrong the whole time, and this isn't like an official review. I think we'll just go like recommend, not recommend at the end of this. But there is enough complexity in your decision making, right? And in the strategies that you're implementing that really make this feel like a crunchier game than it is. Dan and I love difficult co-ops. Like that is a thing that we always get excited about.
Yep.
This was really difficult.
Yeah.
We
But I felt like we had a lot of agency though, right? Like we were
Yeah.
kicking butt early on and then it ramps up like real quick.
And I think as you play more, you're going to learn the different strategies. Like, well, I've got a corruption, I need to get rid of that one, or I don't want to do this because I could gain another.
Right.
Things like that.
Make sure I got a good mix of the
Uh,
different resources.
Yes, a good mix of the resources, and now we understand about how
many quantity you need.
soldiers
Yeah,
you
that's
need.
true. Oh, lose 35. Holy cow.
I thought 15 was a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think though that that's why this will merit like multiple plays.
Mhm.
Before we
Absolutely,
really get
absolutely.
into like real thoughts. But man, initial thoughts. I mean, just table presence alone. The miniatures look great. Like I'm really Spencer. Thank you
Yeah, these little
for
bits are
bringing this
awesome.
in
Absolutely.
and sharing this with us. The sleeves, Dan.
Cool sleeves.
Dan, are you gonna be
Dude,
okay?
When I found out about this, I said these are my favorite sleeves I've ever seen in my life. So these are the cards, right? And they are sleeved. And when you see this, when I saw this sitting on the table because it was pre-set up by Spencer, I thought that was the sleeve back, and I was like, oh wow, that's a really pretty sleeve. I love it. And then Tim said, I want to see what it looks like without the sleeve on, and he pulled it out. And you'll see the sleeve is actually see-through, and the card design is just that. So if you don't have the sleeves, that's what you'll get. But so the sleeve is designed that when you put the card in, it creates this beautiful vignette that highlights
Yeah.
it perfectly. These are my favorite sleeves I've ever seen. These are gorgeous sleeves. The design of these perfectly encapsulate what the game is and
Yes.
everything. And oh man, and all of these, like I saw these sitting there and I was like, wait, so these are all see-through? Like. I just, man, these are stunning to me.
Yeah, really good. Really
so
good.
yeah, ridiculous value there. Obviously, this is fantastic.
And I feel like it's worth mentioning. So Restoration Games kind of made their mark for me when they reprinted Fireball Island. And when they did that, the game itself is fine. It's a kid's toy, but
Sure,
the box
it is a kid's toy.
the box might as well
flimsy.
been made out of like just thick paper,
Yeah,
like
like
construction.
folded
Yeah, I
paper.
was like construction paper.
Then
That's
they
what it
definitely
feels like.
learned their lesson.
Yeah,
because
this box
this is the
legit.
most
Which-
amazing insert I think I've ever used.
Yeah, well, their box was terrible. And then when they did a second edition and retail edition, they fixed the box issue. It came in what would be a normal, quality. But it's like, why do you cheap out? That Kickstarter made so much money. Why? To me, that was such a
Missed
grievous
opportunity, yeah.
mistake. Like
Right.
almost unforgivable.
Yeah, that's why I didn't back this. It's literally because it looks super cool. I was like, I was just so not impressed with the backing of the Fireball Island because I had kickstarted it, and I was like, yeah, no, I'm not. But now it's here. I'm like, damn it.
Yeah. Well,
They just has to invite me over sometimes.
Yeah, I guess.
they've done a really good job. They've done a really good job with this. This is really impressive. This all looks really neat. At least the one time we played this game, and we played almost a full game because we were close. We were very
Close to
close to
winning,
the end
yeah.
before we.
But technically, we did play a full game. We just lost.
Correct.
Technically,
I
yeah.
guess to see it to winning.
Yeah.
But I just think that the way that the iconography breaks down is very easy to understand. I don't think there's any color dependent
Nope.
issues.
The most difficult thing was like the different types of terrains are different colors, but they got little
Yep.
symbols on them. Made it super
They
easy.
got icons.
Yep.
Yep. Not only the artwork,
Yeah.
right, but then it literally just a simple icon.
Yep.
This does something that I praise Lords of Hellas for, to where these miniature buildings are actually very useful. You know,
Yeah.
they actually make the game better because like if you didn't have them, which I don't know in base game if they don't exist
think
or
They were in the base.
yeah, that's
Oh,
I figured
okay.
because they'd have to be right because without them, these skulls would just sit on the board.
And when they come falling out, you'd be like,
and they
"Wait,
would get
was that one
bumped and
there?"
everything. But so
Yeah.
the buildings are used to hold the skulls because if there's 4 skulls, right?
Yep. And fourth one gets
fourth
Yeah,
one makes
if a
it
fourth
blow
one
up.
gets placed, then bad stuff happens.
the building goes away.
And you'll notice that this one at least perfectly fits 3 skulls,
Yeah,
right?
I think
Like
they
that's
all-
and they are clearly designed. That one you could squeeze a 4th on, but they're just clearly designed with an actual purpose and not just to be pretty,
Yeah.
right? And that is so appreciated and
And
fantastic.
the skulls themselves, I just love these things.
These are highly
They
The skulls are
so
super cool.
nice.
Yeah,
I
there's
wish I could
no
show
way
you.
they're
You're
gonna-
not going to be able to
There's
see
no
these
way
things.
they're gonna get that.
But
There'll be some
if you
pictures,
go
hopefully we can
onto
put
our
it.
Yeah.
Discord, I have posted pictures, close-up pictures of the skulls, pictures of the insert, and a comparison of the different boards, all sorts
Uploaded-
of things.
Yeah,
I like
Oh,
those.
yeah, yeah,
Upgraded.
yeah. Those are
anything
the
that's
upgraded
made of that
bits.
material is just the best thing
Clank,
on the
clank,
planet.
clank,
I
clank,
yeah,
love
better
it.
than just the
No.
cardboard shits
Yeah.
or whatever.
A slight negative I had isn't really a huge negative because actually there's a positive light into it. But so when you're playing with the miniatures, because base game doesn't have miniatures, right? It has these tiles.
Yeah.
And so he has the miniatures. Now these miniatures are awesome, and if we get Tim to like dry brush these or something, these are going to be awesome. But the miniature obviously does not have all the information that the token does, right? So the token says that this is a melee humanoid. This does not tell you that.
And
so,
I was definitely guilty of asking probably like
right
10
and-
times.
and
What
I
does that
don't-
thing do?
And I don't
What
think
does
that's
that
your
thing?
fault, right?
No, it's fine.
I just like I was telling
And
Spencer.
it's easy enough to look it up on the app as well.
It
It's a
is.
very
You
well
click
designed
on them.
app.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was telling Spencer if it was my copy, I might write just like because this guy will always be a humanoid melee, so I might write like a M-H on him or something like that, or even under him on the base, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, you
I
just
mean,
kinda pick it up and
if
look,
when
okay,
you
it's
bring them
MH.
out,
You can
just
also
put
do
'em
that,
like
but then I
yeah.
don't know. Does it defeat the purpose of having him? I
Correct.
guess?
I would just put it on the bottom there.
Exactly.
Because then you
Put
have
him
on the
bottom.
what was it again? Oh yeah,
just pick
MH.
him up.
Okay.
There you go.
Yeah.
Now, the positive I was going to say about this is for almost all of them, I was able to guess 100% correctly what they were anyway because it
Like,
makes
Just by the
sense.
sculpt
Yeah.
and what
This
it
guy
looks
is a
like.
humanoid who is wielding a melee weapon. He is a melee humanoid. I saw we don't
demon
have these
dudes.
guy. I saw this guy and I said, okay, well he's clearly stealth. He's in like a crouchy
crouchy.
little hiding position, and I think I guessed that he was
Undead.
undead because he had a zombie look to him. I was correct. This guy was clearly a fiend, a beast. And I didn't get the other thing right for this guy, right? That was the one that I missed. But like, you can look at him, and they designed him in a way that, and magic.
But I don't know how you get magic off of that.
Correct.
Other than that, it's a
Fiend.
fantastic creature.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, for most of them, I was able to look and guess, so that's good design. But it would help if there was something that clipped onto the bottom, or we'll just make up our own fix that. We get
Yeah.
it, Tower.
I also, this is like a little thing that to me, I think, especially if I was younger and had like a lot of time to sit with this, I could see coming up with my own lore just because of the way that the names of all the
Yeah,
territories,
that's true.
why Big Sister, like
'Cause it's the big
It's the-
mountain to the little
and middle
sister.
and
Yeah,
little,
and there's
'cause
middle
they get
sister and little
smaller as it
sister,
goes
right?
this way,
Like I
yeah.
just feel like it all lends itself to a lot of lore.
So you're
and-
asking me to write a book about it?
Right.
You know, it's very lived in.
Well,
right?
I asked when we started playing, I said, is this based off a book series? Because I knew it was an older game, right, that was remade. That's kind of what Restoration Games does, right? But I was wondering if there was a book series. Not that I was confused with the Stephen King thing. I knew that was unrelated. But I was wondering if there was something about this, and they said no. And that kind of blew my mind because I thought that the lore on all the cards, the characters, the map here, it all felt so lived in and really well thought out and stuff. I even talked to Tim. Again, we talk about Dark Souls a lot on our channel lately because Elden Ring coming out. I said, oh man, this game like makes me think of Dark Souls, the way that things are named and the way the creatures and lores exist. And oh man, we haven't even talked about the way that the dungeon crawling aspects
Oh
work.
my
where
gosh,
yeah.
right.
You're actually moving through a dungeon on the app and making decisions about which room to visit, and you're like losing health and stuff as you're moving through there. And then the way that the very interesting. We can't show that off right now, unfortunately. But and then the way that you actually fight a monster, where they have like a deck of cards assigned to them, and you pick randomly what cards you're gonna fight, and they flip one by one, and you encounter the cards that you picked one by one.
and you can use your advantages to.
And you have all these,
mitigate
yeah,
sort
you'll
of,
see
like-
these
Yeah.
advantages here. This card says stealth advantage and humanoid advantage. That means that basically, so let's say I'm fighting a stealth humanoid, right? Perfect. I would have two advantages. That would mean that if I was fighting the creature and one of the cards flipped and it said lose 30 warriors, I would be able to use an advantage on that card, and that would cost one of my two advantages, which is one of the things that maybe is slightly fiddly, is obviously the app doesn't know how many you have, so you just have
Right.
to tell the truth.
Yeah.
Right. But that might lower the 30 warriors to 20 or 15. Okay, this is manageable for me now. I can complete this card, discard my warriors, move on to the next card, and then you use your advantages like that until you run out. If you ever can't spend something, then you take the corruption, which adds the corruption mechanic in. Did you want to explain how that works?
Yeah, so every character board has these two slots on the bottom. Don't know if you can see them from there. These two underneath the virtues, and when you have to give up a resource that you don't have, even if it's just one, you gain a corruption card, and the corruption cards all do something bad. Like you cannot cleanse a building that has 3 skulls on it.
I mean, you say
that's
bad, but mine just says I
terrible.
can't give away my items.
Cool. Yeah, all right. Some of them are worse than others.
It just reinforces your already personality.
So as you're going through, you have to, I mean, obviously if you get 3 of them, game over. But you can go to a sanctuary and you can spend, I believe it's 5
Yeah, it's right in
Yep.
front of you.
to remove all your corruptions. So
Yep.
that's a nice
Which is a really cool
mechanic.
system in
Yeah,
general.
yeah.
The fact that each region has those 4 asymmetric buildings in it. Like, I mean,
Yep.
they're the same 4, but each region has one. And these all have these different effects that, again, are thematic. They work into that theme and everything, which helped with the world building that I was talking about.
We also have this die.
Which was unfortunately barely used because it seems awesome.
I used it a couple times.
Yeah.
I
So
used
the
it once.
die is when you
Hard to haggle.
reinforce,
Or
which is
Haggle.
basically using a building's ability, you can choose to roll the die. If you roll that one, you don't actually get to reinforce. So
That is terrible. And I think it's a 1/3 chance. I think it's on 2 of the sides.
yeah, it's on 2 of the
right?
sides. So you have a good chance of not being to reinforce, but you also could get warriors or items.
Potions.
So
yeah.
it could be really useful. It's a really nice little choice you have to make.
So yeah, we will.
That's basically it, yeah.
We will refrain from rating it right now. We'll just go around and say whether we recommend it, give some final thoughts.
Yeah, so I'm going to go first. Holy crap, I loved this game. I'm not going to lie. Every once in a while in my life, I have a situation of a game that I say, like, I'll never forget the experience that I had when I played it. It's why I love Twilight Imperium so much, the experiences I have with it. I talk about U-Boot all the
Yep.
time,
Oh,
the
yeah.
experience. I mean, I never even finished that game, but the experience of that game
It was so cool.
changed my gaming career. Like I loved it. And I think this is one for me. And am I overhyping it for you guys? Maybe, sorry, but I loved every second of this game. My jaw was on the floor, stuff was happening. I was laughing. I was like, what is happening? I loved every second, and I would give 27 thumbs up to my experience I had with this game so far after one play of the cooperative mode, right? Those caveats
Yeah.
in there. I loved this game.
Yeah, this was definitely one that's like, if there was more time,
Uh-huh.
like, well,
Yeah,
let's
yeah,
reset
yeah.
and go again.
Right.
You know what I
I
mean?
would,
'Cause-
100%.
Yeah. Like Dan, just really strong recommend with this so far, especially just initially. Sort of skeptical because sometimes, like a re-implementation of a classic game, it's like, well, is it going to have all the weaknesses of potentially a game that's 45 years old?
Right.
Maybe. But
I
but
thought
at
they
the
did
same
a really
time,
good job with it.
this feels very modern, right?
It
This feels
does,
very updated and current. The production value is off the charts.
Yeah.
Now, granted, Spencer, like all in Kickstarter, like top
Right.
notch
Oh,
stuff.
Fancy bits.
But even
I
the
was-
normal bits
The normal
are
bits, these
really good.
Skulls are normal. The buildings are normal.
The people are miniatures in it,
The miniatures are normal.
and
Basically,
most of
the
it was-
upgrade-
I mean,
bits you
even
see in
the,
the
uh,
monsters.
these towers in the normal were like the 2-piece cardboard that stick
Yeah.
together to make a
Together.
3D tower,
Yeah.
and they
So
looked
still
really good.
three-dimensional.
and
Yeah.
the board itself is very thick cardboard. It's
Yeah,
not
well
not
made.
an easy
warping.
one. Yeah, it's not going to warp, and it when you put it in the box itself, the lid, the cover
Oh yeah, the
for
way
it
the inserts.
locks it in place, so it's
Yes.
not going to be shifting around at
Nice.
all.
Yeah, it looks.
It is
it's really.
amazing.
They do a really good job.
Yeah.
really good job. Bobby, what do you think?
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I wish I'd have backed it. I didn't back it because of my initial, experience with restoration games when I was really not happy, but they kind of redeemed themselves with this one a bit. I do kind of wish there was something that kind of went around the edge to keep the skulls from rolling and flying
Yeah,
off the
yeah.
table.
You do have to. It's one of those things that we just weren't
Pay
really
attention.
doing it. But
Yeah.
when you know an event's happening, everyone just like get ready.
Yeah. But other than that, though, I enjoyed everything about this game, and I wish I would have kickstarted it.
Sure,
So
Spencer.
Well, obviously, I'm going to recommend it. I'm tickled pink that you guys love it as much as you do.
No, it's always nice, right? You
Yeah.
you spend a lot of money on
Yeah.
a Kickstarter,
yeah.
and it's like, oh please,
yeah,
let this
please let
like.
this be
don't
good.
be a
Please let
miss.
this
Don't
be
be
Yeah,
a
I mean,
miss.
if you hadn't have backed this, I'd probably never play it.
Yeah.
And so, Spencer, you changed my life.
There's just so much good that I have to say about this game. A lot has already been said. One of the things that hasn't been touched on yet is the first time I played this, I did it with my 10-year-old daughter.
Yeah.
No problem at all.
Mhm.
I could see an 8-year-old playing this no problem.
Yeah,
Especially
So
because you're working together.
yeah, you're working together. So this is a family-friendly game. There's a caveat, but it does warn you every time it happens, is that these things spin, so you have to make certain you don't.
Have a finger
Oh,
in there.
And I've watched the videos of how they make this thing. This thing is robust. You do not want a finger or hair anywhere near that thing when it spins.
Yeah, Tim, no hair.
Yeah.
Wah, wah.
But
That was the original Dark Tower.
so highly recommend. Love even just the base components of this game. I did go ahead and get all the little extra minis, and the quality of these guys is fantastic.
They feel really good. We did have one of the guy that I was playing as is clearly leaning forward a little bit.
Yeah.
And it is harder plastic than some that I've had before, so it's gonna take a little bit of messing with to fix that guy, but it's not. I mean, he still stands. It's fine.
Yeah.
There's just a little lean to him that we'll need to fix.
Yeah, maybe some hot water or a hairdryer.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. And there's always that element of surprise, unknown, because when these seals come up,
Yeah.
you don't know what's going to happen.
What's behind
when
it?
it rotates, you don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, we
it's
should
pretty
point
fun.
out, right, that when it lights up, the way that we're revealing those symbols is these pieces slide off the tower, and you,
Yeah.
well, I don't want to, okay. They slide off the tower, and you reveal the symbol underwards because you just see like a light kind of blinking
Yeah.
behind it, and you're
Oh,
like, uh-oh, what's happening
Oh,
behind
the
here?
seal's broken.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Oh.
pretty good.
And the app is awesome too. I have
Yes,
no
so
problem with
app
the
dependent. We haven't said that yet.
It is app dependent, but they have already said they're going to do everything they can to make certain it's available.
Yeah,
at
they've
all times.
committed.
They've
They
committed.
basically pledged to keep the app
Yeah.
going.
Up to date, whatever.
Yeah, always going in perpetuity. So, yeah, man. Spencer, thank you so much for bringing this in.
Yeah.
Thank you for learning the rules and being ready to teach us because
Yes.
that let us do this video today. So that was awesome, man. I appreciate it. And yeah, what a good time.
Yeah.
This was 2 hours, really well spent. Did not feel like 2 hours.
No, it
It
didn't.
didn't.
There's
Maybe
not a
an hour
lot
and
of
a half.
downtime between turns because
4 minutes?
you never know, right? But you also never
Well, it
know
would be
because
12.
because if
Yeah.
if Bob is dropping a skull in there at the end of his turn, that thing moves,
Yeah.
and now the landscape. I went from no skulls in my
You did
area
to, like,
to
8.
the next to having eight,
Eight.
literally
Oh
eight.
my goodness.
Everyone's area in one
before I
round.
could take another turn, and
We're all like,
that
geez, Tim,
escalated
thanks
quickly."
for taking care of your region.
Yeah,
Jeez.
Tim. You
it's
really let it go to
devastating and amazing at the same time because again we were running really well for a little while,
For a little
and
while.
then it just escalated very quickly.
yeah.
Yeah, these little locks started coming off, and
It was
And that's another thing that the app does, which I didn't mention, is that as the game plays, your little bad guys get stronger.
Yeah.
The cards get
yeah, they like
stronger.
level up.
You get
yeah.
so they level up, which is probably why they put them in the app. It'd be way too many cards to have different levels of them.
Right.
Sure.
Right. No, they do a great job.
Yeah.
One last thing, because we discovered this right before starting this review, because we were going over the end thing. So it mentions a seed, a game seed, in the settings at the end when it tells you like how long you played, the average turns that we were talking about. And this is a crazy system to me if this is how it works. You know, I've never seen this in a board game before. So in a video game like Minecraft, a seed would mean that it's this exact world, this exact game we played. So the setup and
You're gonna get
everything.
the same events.
Right. And so does that mean, Spencer mentioned it means that you can kind of pause the game as long as you remember where you were because you have the seed for your game. And that's cool. But the way that I saw it was that means that we could play this game and we lost today, right? Wow, that was a really fun, hard game. Here's the seed. We can post our seed in Discord. Other people can type that seed into their game,
Play the same
assumably, because otherwise
scenario.
there's no reason to have a seed if you can't type it in somewhere. And then, yeah, they would play the exact same scenario we
How'd
played.
you guys do?
And
Yeah.
they'd be able to be like, "Oh, I can see why you guys lost," or "Hey, you guys suck."
You can also
right?
see like
Yeah.
tournaments being played with that way too,
Yeah.
right? So you set
Yeah,
multiples of
everyone's
them up.
playing the
Everybody's playing the
exact
exact
same
same
scenario.
Yeah, I'll
and
experiment
that
with
is awesome to have a seed system in a board game if that's how that works.
Yeah, next time I play, I'll stop in the middle. I'll see what the seed thing does.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
Yeah, that'd be fantastic.
Cool.
All right, guys. Well, this has been Return to the Dark Tower by
has.
Restoration Games.
Mhm.
We all strongly recommend it.
Yep.
Very little complaints, if any.
Yeah, I cannot wait to play this
Yeah,
game.
it's nitpick complaints. if
Yeah,
anything.
nitpicking, right?
Yeah.
Nitpicking. Yeah, you can't get hair in the thing. Don't do that, Bob. So, anyways, guys, thank you for watching. Please let us know what you think. Find us on Discord. Hit us up there, and like, subscribe, all those good things. So, for the board game rundown, I've been Tim.
I've been Bob.
I've been Spencer.
I was Dan.
We'll see you next time.
Thanks for checking out the Board Game Rundown. If you like what you saw, like, comment, and subscribe to our channel. Share our videos on social media and spread the word. We publish new content weekly, including reviews, unboxing, and Let's Plays. And as always, thanks for watching.